the details now without further ado. The Senate on Thursday passed the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2021, during which it also stripped the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, of the exclusive powers to transmit election results electronically. However, the House of Representatives could not pass the Electoral Act Amendment Bill because of some contentious issues. Even in the Senate, members of the ruling All Progressives Congress APC and those of the People Democratic Party PDP were at each other's throats on the practicability or otherwise of transmitting election results electronically, a development that made other important provisions in the bill less prominent during the debate. While most APC members supported legal backing for transmitting election results with a caveat, many PDP members expressed reservations. The Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2021 was passed, of course, after a clause-by-clause consideration of the report of the Committee on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. The Red Chamber approved electronic transmission of results during elections, provided that the national network coverage is adjudged to be adequate and secured by the Nigerian Communications Commission and approved by the National Assembly. If I had a big question, it would be this. What is your take on this? I mean, I've heard since yesterday that this happened, I've had arguments on the two sides. Some saying, yes, I mean, there's sense in what they're saying. Others saying, absolutely not. This is just a way through which they're trying to ensure that they have a hand in the ballot boxes and they can get to change the numbers. That's the only reason why they'll be afraid of electronic transmission of results. But what do you think? They say that the only condition under which electronic transmission of results can happen is that the national network coverage would be adjudged to be adequate and secured by the Nigerian Communications Commission. As it stands now, data has it that Nigeria has internet penetration of less than 50%. So more than half of Nigerians across different parts of Nigeria do not have adequate internet where they live and reside as it stands today. That's what the data says. But others are saying it's just elections. It's not like they're going to be doing some big responsibility that has to do with having serious data. This thing can work with the structure that we have today. I wonder what you think about. Do you think there's hanky-panky at play here? Or is it what it is? I mean, take for instance, Borno State. Alin Dume was on television yesterday and he said, as of now, a lot of places or the entire state is without power. And even internet connectivity is not as you would find in other places. So should you subject people like that in such areas to electronic transmission of results? What would be your argument to this? Well, I guess you'd have your chance, if not via text, much later when Sheun and I are back for the other part of the morning splash. But that's the big story for today, as I said, and you can find that everywhere on every newspaper that you pick up. But let's take a look at other stories, shall we? Federal government declares Tuesday, Wednesday holiday for Eid al-Kabir. Soldiers killed as bandits abduct many in Sokoto. This is a story around security, and of course you know that I will be compelled to take that. They came on 100 motorcycles. Each motorcycle was carrying 3 well-armed bandits, according to eyewitness accounts. So 2 soldiers have been killed and 7 others injured in a raid in Ungwarnlale village in Sabombirne Council area of Sokoto State. The attackers also burnt down 2 patrol vehicles belonging to the police and the army. Daily Trust learned that the bandits attacked the village around 2 p.m. on Wednesday. 2 p.m. is smack in the middle of the afternoon, and they came in their numbers and attacked people in the afternoon. For more details, you have to pick up the Daily Trust newspaper. Lagos APC members petition Buni-led committee over LG polls. Senate approves Buhari's request for $8.325 million, 940 million euros external loans. Okay, bandits leader killed, 65-year-old victim rescued in Jigawa, Kwara APC crisis, 11 Lai Mohammed loyalists suspended. Okay, interesting. All right, let's move away from that to the Punch newspaper, shall we? Big story on the Punch newspaper. Electronic results transmission. Southern senators turn against governors. National Assembly members clash. That's the story. My guess is as good as yours. You can almost tell what's going to be the body of that story already. Britain firm seek Kanu's consent to take over case. And this should be interesting. Yeah, right? Okay, so it has it on the Punch newspaper that the British High Commission and a law firm in London, Bindsman, have sought the consent of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, to take up his case. The Punch gathered on Thursday that Nnamdi Kanu's Nigerian lawyer, Aloy Ejimako, delivered 2 forms to the IPOB leader on Wednesday during a visit to the office of the Department of State Services where he's being detained. Ejimako told our correspondent that the development would open up a new chapter in the trial of Kanu, adding that the Nigerian government would be served with summons to bring him to the United Kingdom, where another case will be heard over the manner of his rendition to Nigeria. More details available on the Punch newspaper. I consider that quite interesting. I wonder what the federal government has to say about this. After DSS deadly raid, corpses of Igbo's associates missing, whereabouts a mystery. Okay, let's see. If we can get a little more insight from that. 2 weeks after they were killed by operatives of the Department of State Services during a bloody raid on the Ibadan residence of Yoruba Nation activist Chief Sunday Adeyemo, aka Sunday Igboho, the whereabouts of the corpses of 2 of his associates remain unknown. The DSS spokesman Peter Funaya at a press briefing after the secret police headquarters in Abuja on July 1 disclosed that its operatives gunned down 2 of Igboho's associates. However, Afnai did not respond to inquiries by the Punch on Wednesday, seeking to know where the DSS took the corpses away and why it had not released the dead bodies to the inconsolable families of the deceased for burial, if indeed it took the corpses away. You can check the Punch newspaper if you're seeking more on that. PIB passage deadlock. Reps suspend consideration indefinitely. Now, this is another interesting one. An aftermath of what happened on the House yesterday. The harmonized version of the Petroleum Industry Bill failed to pass at the House of Representatives on Thursday, as considerations of the reports by the Conference Committee on the bill caused a sharp division in the chamber. Protests by members, especially from the southern part of the country, forced the Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila, to call for an emergency executive closed-door session, after which he asked that the laying of the reports by the committee be stepped down. The lawmakers had protested against the alleged reduction of allocation to host communities in the PIB. Buzzwords everywhere, if you like. That's on the Punch newspaper. You might want to get details. Abuja serial rapist pastor jailed for life. Pharmacist Council shuts 340 chemists in Edo. ECOWAS seeks revenue mobilization for Nigeria. Others, that is also on the Punch newspaper. Now let's see if we can take some headlines off of the cable online. Gunmen kill Army General on Lokoja Abuja Highway. I mean, talk about the height of insecurity. Army General. Let's see. Ahmed, or is it Hassan Ahmed, a major general and former provost marshal of the Nigerian Army, has been killed by gunmen. The incident happened on Thursday while the general was traveling through the Lokoja Abuja Highway. It was also feared that a family member who was said to be traveling with the general was abducted by the gunmen. This is sad. Remi Tinubu in favor, Agbarigbe against. House senators voted on giving NCC power over e-transmission of election results. You also find journalist, policeman shot dead as robbers attack bank in Ondo. This is, very unfortunate story. I have less than a minute. Let's see if I can quickly bring you some details from that story. Armed robbers on Thursday attacked a bank in Ilara, Mokin, Ife Dore LGA of Ondo State, killing 3 people. Among those killed was Olubimi Afuye, an Ondo-based journalist who is also the spokesperson of Elizade University. The journalist was shot in the head while he was seated in the driver's seat of his vehicle, which was parked outside the bank. This is so heartbreaking. So heartbreaking. The robbers also killed the policeman and the motorcyclist during the attack. A source told the Cable that the robbers invaded the bank around 2:30 p.m. I mean, have you noticed that all the stories I read concerning insecurity happen in the afternoon? Seems like we're in trouble, doesn't it? Join us again at 8 o'clock. It's going to be a roundtable of all of us here talking about the biggest stories from this week so far. We've got to go on a break now. At 7:30, the sports crew will be here, and then we'll be back at 8. Good morning.
Splash FM 105.5.
Because this is just a radio ad, you can't get a taste of this delicious hot chocolate. You can't savor the irresistible aroma stemming from this mix of Cadbury chocolate, milk, and sugar. You can't even feel the warmth that comes with every sip. But do you know what you can do? You can make yourself a mug of Cadbury hot chocolate right now and feel the goodness in every sip. Cadbury 3-in-1 hot chocolate. Enjoy the Cadbury goodness.